everyone, this is Tejaswini. Welcome back. This is lecture series on lipids. As in previous two lectures, I told you about saturated and unsaturated fatty acids, how omega-3, omega-6 and omega-9 fatty acids are different from each other due to the difference in their structure. And in this video, I will tell you about physical properties of fat and one concept, that is polymorphism, and under that there are two main concepts like tempering of fat and shortening of fat. So in this video I will just tell you about tempering of fat. You must have heard about tempering of chocolate. So first start with the physical properties of fat. First property is fats or lipids are soluble in non-polar solvent and insoluble in polar solvents like water. See, this is H2O, lone pair electrons. Here is the addition of dipole like this. These dipole, this is electropositive, this is electronegative. This end indicates that atom is electropositive and this end indicates that this atom is electronegative or more electronegative than this. So there is an addition of dipole and therefore this is dipole, and this solvent is polar solvent. And non-polar solvents are like N3, not solvent but these non-polar molecules, or you can say CCl4, carbon tetrachloride. In this structure, these four electronegative atoms are attached like this, and these are dipoles, and this dipole cancels out this, and this dipole cancels out this dipole moment, and therefore there is a deletion of dipole moment, and therefore these molecules are non-polar. And these lipids are soluble in solvents like this, these non-polar solvents. And next property is viscosity. Viscosity is, we know that viscosity is resistance to flow. Next is viscosity. This viscosity of lipid actually increases. Viscosity increases with, this is proportionality constant, not constant, this is sign, and this viscosity increases with increases in saturation. If that fat molecule is more saturated, then viscosity of that fat is more, and viscosity decreases with unsaturation, more unsaturation. Unsaturated molecules like palmitoleic, arachidonic, oleic acid, linoleic acid, linolenic acid. And third one is refractive index. Refractive index describes ability of that solution, particular solution, to pass light through it. And this refractive index increases with increase in unsaturation, and decreases with increasing saturation. More refractive index, less light will pass, or slowly light will pass. And fourth property is melting point. Fourth property is melting point. Different lipids with the different structures have different melting point. Examples are there like oleic acid and stearic acid. These two fatty acids are of 18 carbon, both are of 18 carbon, but this is unsaturated fatty acid. Unsaturated fatty acid with one cis double bond. With one cis carbon-carbon double bond. And this is saturated fatty acid. Saturated fatty acid. Melting point of this oleic acid is 13.3 degrees Celsius, and melting point of this stearic acid is 69.6 degrees Celsius. Remember this. Therefore, we can say oleic acid melting point is 13.4 degrees Celsius. Therefore, we can say that melting points of unsaturated fatty acids are lower than saturated fatty acids. Melting point of unsaturated fatty acids are lower. And melting point of saturated fatty acids are greater than unsaturated fatty acid. So this is all about the physical properties of fat, and important term is polymorphism. This polymorphism means what? Polymorphism is ability of that substance to take many forms. Like carbon, see, you know that carbon is found in actually main two forms, like common carbon black form, and another is a diamond morphism. Polymorphism is ability of that substance to take many forms. Ability of substance to take many forms. And different triglycerides with different polymorphic forms. Suppose triglyceride. With many, two or more than two polymorphic form is there. Example, two or more. Then these different polymorphic forms of this triglyceride has different melting point. And different X-ray diffraction pattern and IR spectra. X-ray diffraction and IR spectra, these are two techniques used to determine crystallographic structure of material. This explains how crystal is formed, and we can use that technique, IR spectra technique. We can use this technique to identify crystalline structure and to identify that particular material. So this is about polymorphism, and this application of this polymorphism in food technology, which is tempering of fat. Tempering means heating and cooling process. Example of this polymorphism is tempering of fat. Tempering of fat and shortening of fat. Shortening of fat. This tempering of fat process is used in manufacturing of chocolate, or we can say tempering of chocolate. Tempering means heating and cooling. Heating and cooling process until desired crystalline structure. Until desired crystalline structure we get. That's why physical properties of lipid can be changed by changing crystalline structures. In tempering of chocolate, what happens? Actually, chocolate is made up of cocoa butter, then cocoa solids and sugar. We have to focus on this cocoa butter only, as this cocoa butter plays most important role in chocolate setting. This cocoa butter can arrange themselves in 6 different crystalline forms. Or we can say that this cocoa butter exists in 6 different physical forms. 6 different crystal forms. And these 6 different crystal forms have different melting point. And phase first 6 different crystal forms. First to this phase 1 to phase 6. This phase 1 of cocoa butter has lowest melting point, and phase 6 of cocoa butter has highest melting point. Lowest melting point. And phase 6 of cocoa butter has highest melting point. And of these 6 phases of cocoa butter, phase 5 of cocoa butter, remember this, phase 5 is very much desirable. Phase 5 is desirable because this phase 5 cocoa butter remains solid in our hand and melts in our mouth. Remains solid in our hand. Or we can say room temperature, and this phase 5 melts in mouth. That is melts at body temperature. And commercially, this tempering of chocolate is done by actually all ingredients of this chocolate are melted into one molten tank. Here I will write the process of tempering of chocolate. First, all ingredients are melted into molten tank. So this is molten tank. Then this, because molten chocolate can be molded into, we have to melt this chocolate because molten chocolate can be molded into different forms. Then this molten chocolate is carefully cooled. During this cooling process, cocoa butter, I told you this cocoa butter has 6 different phases. This cocoa butter starts to nucleate, or you can say that there is this cocoa butter begin forming seed crystals. And then in further cooling, these seed crystals will grow and there is a solidification of chocolate. If I draw here one tray with molten chocolate, and these are the seed crystals, small seed crystals. During cooling or further cooling, these seed crystals will grow into larger seed crystals. And this is solidification of chocolate. That means in solidification of chocolate, there is a crystal formation of cocoa butter. This is solidification process. But this chocolate contain all the 6 phases of cocoa butter. Contain all 6 phases of cocoa butter. And our only aim is to produce phase 5 cocoa butter. Phase 5 cocoa butter. And therefore, to produce phase 5 cocoa butter, we have to use tempering process. I will tell you how do they do this. You must have observed blacksmith. He makes weapon by heating and cooling. By heating and cooling, he achieve that desirable molecular structure. If I draw here one graph, suppose if I draw here one graph, and these are the melting points 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 and 45. This is phase 1, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of cocoa butter, then phase 4, phase 5 and phase 6. These are the 6 phases of cocoa butter. If you heat that chocolate, if you heated chocolate until 45 degrees Celsius, at this temperature all the phases of cocoa butter will melt at this temperature. And if you stop heating and this allowed to cool at room temperature, that is 27 degrees Celsius, at this temperature all these 3 phases, phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, there will no growth of these 3 phases, and we will get only phase 6, phase 5 and phase 4 at this temperature, that is room temperature 27 degrees Celsius. At this temperature or at this stage, we will get negligible amount of phase 6 crystals. Therefore, we will ignore phase 6. We will consider only phase 5 and phase 4. But we don't want phase 4 either. We don't want phase 4. And to achieve this phase 5 seed crystals, we can cool this chocolate to 31 degrees Celsius, which is more than melting point of phase 4. And there will be no growth of phase 4 crystals, and we will get only phase 5 crystals. But that is not quite enough. At this temperature, we can cool. We will get phase 5 crystals, but this is not quite enough because of these phase 5 crystals will take too much time to set with the desired chocolate. At this temperature, I will write here. This will take too much time to set chocolate with desired phase 5 crystals. So how to make that crystal growth faster? Actually, there are 2 processes by which you can accelerate the rate of chocolate setting or crystal formation. First is undercooling and next is seeding. In undercooling, you have to cool the melted chocolate far below the melting point of phase 4 also. Suppose if you cool melted chocolate to 27 degrees Celsius, there will be faster growth of phase 5 crystals and slower growth of phase 4 crystals. See, here we have got now faster growth of phase 5, that is desired seed crystals, and slower growth of phase 4 crystals. Now, if you heated chocolate from 27 degrees Celsius to the temperature which is above phase 4 melting point of phase 4 seed crystals, at this temperature this seed crystal which is phase 4 seed crystals will melt and we will get only phase 5 crystals. And now again, if you allow for cooling at room temperature, at this we will get only phase 5 seed crystals which are desirable in our chocolate. And this process is known as homogeneous nucleation. And another process which is seeding known as heterogeneous nucleation. Okay, I'll write here. In heterogeneous nucleation or seeding, if you pour chocolate which already contain phase 5 seed crystals into the molten chocolate at this temperature, suppose if you add chocolate which already contain phase 5 crystals at this temperature, then there will be the faster growth of phase 5 crystals. Therefore, we can use both the process, either this seeding or undercooling. Why undercooling? Because we are cooling this melted chocolate to the 27 degrees Celsius, which is far below the melting point of phase 5 crystals. So this is all about the tempering of chocolate, and we will meet in next video. Keep studying. Thank you.